Hey there world, I'm the Courageous Goldfish, and today we are back for the second episode of my series ranking all the Monster High dolls. Today we are talking about everybody's favorite vampire, Draculaura. Draculaura was my favorite as a child, and as the years have gone by, I've grown more appreciation for Claudine, but I still think that Draculaura is my favorite. I'm not alone in that either. Draculaura is a fan favorite among Monster High fanatics, and honestly, it's easy to see why. Draculaura's core style is very cutesy. It's over the top with frills and lace, almost very gothic Lolita inspired in some ways. Lots of pink, lots of utilization of like heart and bat motifs, so it's very easy to see why she is so many people's favorite. Obviously, because she is one of the three main ghouls, she has a huge doll catalog, so it's going to be pretty impossible for me to go at length about every single doll, but I'm going to try and say a couple of words about each doll as I rank them. If you haven't seen my original Frankenstein episode, I did talk about how I have set some rules for myself concerning this series and how I'm ranking them, so if you wanted to go watch that before you watch this video, I would recommend that, but if you're just sticking around for Draculaura, I'll go over the rules again in just a second. Rule number one that I've made for myself is no reboot dolls. We try to pretend that the reboot didn't happen in this house, and so I think there are going to be some that are on the fringe of when they were kind of transitioning over into the weird looking faces and such, but for the most part, I'm trying to stay away from reboot dolls. Rule number two, I will not be putting any SDCC or collector's edition dolls into the rankings. I just think it's not really fair to put these very highly stylized, really high effort dolls in with the rest of them that were available for regular purchase. And so all of the dolls that you're going to be seeing are dolls that you could have found on the shelf at the toy store. That's kind of the vibe. And rule number three, the original design of each ghoul can never rank as number one on the rankings. The original designs are just so iconic and ingrained in so many people's memories that obviously they're gonna rank pretty high on the list, but this is kind of more of a celebration of the fashion of Monster High, and so I kind of want to rank them based off aesthetic value rather than nostalgic value. I have a picture of each doll pulled up, so if it ever looks like I'm looking down or if the phone is in frame at all, that's what I'm doing. It's kind of hard to remember all of them off the top of my head, and so I've got a reference photo pulled up just in case. Without further ado, we have 25 dolls to talk about today, and we'll kick it off with number 25, Carnival Draculaura. The top part of her dress just doesn't look like it matches the skirt at all. It's weird that they did blue for this. I don't mind the pattern that they put on the skirt, it's just not my favorite. And the bow that they stuck there is just like, why? Why? It just looks messy and it doesn't look like there's any effort put into this at all. Her hair is like limp and flat and gross. The picture that I'm looking at, she has a weird like zigzaggy cut that makes it look like she tried to do it at home. Like it's just, I hate this doll. It's gross. There's no effort put into it whatsoever. This doll, I think, was kind of towards the end of the original and sort of transitioning into the reboot. So her face is really weird. Like it looks childish and just, I don't like this doll. I don't like it. Number 24, we have Creeperteria Draculaura. I think it's probably faster to say what I like about this doll rather than what I don't like. Her hair is pretty okay. Her hair is kind of cute. I'm digging this hair. Obviously her face, we don't like the end of Monster High into the reboot faces. They're not it. So we already know that. This looks like it has no shape. Her waist is not defined at all. Her skirt is just like a weird plain mini skirt cut. The patterns don't, like they make sense for Draculaura, but they're so plain. There's just little to no aesthetic value to this. There's not a lot of fashion sense to this at all. I think it's gross. And honestly, considering how many iconic looks we've gotten from Draculaura, this is just, it's not it. It's not it. Number 23, a bit of a shocker, we have the Scaris Draculaura. I know a lot of people liked this doll, but I really don't. Her face, I think, is what gets me the most. It doesn't look like Draculaura. Like, I get they were kind of trying to go for a little bit of like a, oh, en vogue type of thing, but it doesn't work. It makes her look awkward. It looks like a bootleg almost. Like, I hate to say that, but yeah, she looks like a bootleg. It's a bootleg face. I don't like the face on this. Her hair is kind of okay, but the way her bangs are cut kind of makes it look like she's like bald. Like, it looks like a wig to me. It looks like they just plopped it on top and there's just a wig on this doll. Weird. Not about this outfit either. I really like the Scaris Frankie doll. I think they did a really good job with that one. I talked about that in my Frankenstein video, but this doll, no. The fact that the details on her skirt are printed on rather than stitched in any way, it just looks really cheap. They look like doll clothes, which, I mean, I guess they are, but you know what I mean, right? Like, it doesn't have any, there's no fashion sense to it. Do you know what I mean? It just looks like they kind of slapped some clothes on her and they were like, yep, good enough. Her shoes are also just like plain. You could slap these shoes on any other doll and it would be fine. They're not specific to Draculaura's character at all, so don't love this. Number 22, we have the Make a Splash Draculaura. I am not a super huge fan of the swimsuit dolls. I just think that the whole point of Monster High is the high aesthetic value of the fashion, and I don't think that really shines through with bikini or swimsuit dolls. I talked about that in my Frankenstein video. I still stand by that. This doll is not awful. She's not terrible. Her hair is kinda cute, her bangs are kinda cute. Her face is, well, not the worst that we've seen, but it's not great either. Honestly, the thing about this doll that ruins it for me is the swimsuit. I don't really know what I'm looking at. The pattern is really like, you gotta squint really hard to figure out what it is. The ruffles look kind of messy and they kind of like swamp her body out. They just look too big for the scale of the doll. Number 21, we have the Great Scarier Reef Draculaura. Don't like this doll either. I don't like most of the Great Scarier Reef dolls. I just think they missed the mark. For me personally, I thought that they weren't very impactful, and this doll is no exception. She looks angry, and that's a little bit weird. I never saw the Great Scarier Reef movie, so maybe there's some like backstory or whatever, but it doesn't really look like Draculaura. She just looks like pissed, and that's weird to me. The yellow streak in her hair is just kind of weird to me. I don't like the pattern on her bodice part. It's just like, it's weird. It's weird. There's nothing about this doll that is attractive to me. Her yellow accessories are kind of cute, like the little yellow wings that she's got. That's kind of cute. But yeah, like the pattern on the bodice and just like the whole tail thing, it doesn't work for me. I don't like it. The tail parts on these dolls always look really awkwardly jointed to me, and I think that's part of why I don't like them as much. But yeah, not into this one. Number 20 is the York Draculaura. She's kind of cute. I don't hate this doll. It just is not my favorite. The pattern on her dress is pretty cute. It's very graffiti inspired, but you can still see some Draculaura motifs in there. Like if you look really closely at the bottom of her skirt, there's like the lips with the fang pattern, which I think is pretty cute. I'm not in love with the silver details on this, but I understand why they used it. The silver overlay she's got on the skirt part is kind of cut at the bottom to look like a city skyline, but that's something that's not immediately apparent, and so you kind of gotta like think about it for a little bit to be like, well, why did they cut it that way? So it's not as impactful as I would have liked it to be. It's a good idea in theory, it's just not executed in a way that makes me go, ah, this is what it's meant to be. I do love the bag that comes with this doll though. I think it's really cute. I like the diamond shape of it. It's just pretty good. One of the better Draculaura purses, to be honest. I do like the face on this doll. The face on this doll is not bad. They might have wanted to choose a different lip color that kind of closer matches the dress colors, but the hair is what I don't like about this doll. It's just simple. They didn't really do anything with it. They could have given her like a twist or something at least, but it's just straight and flat, which I think they could have put a little bit more effort into, but overall, don't hate this doll. Number 19 is the Art Class Draculaura. This is not my favorite Draculaura, but she's not terrible either. Her hair is kind of cute with that like curly ponytail thing she's got going on. Again, I don't really like the yellow streak that they've got going on, and her face is kind of weird. But the top part of her outfit is pretty cute with like the stripy thing with like the little bow. I would wear that if I found a shirt that looked like that, so Personal bias probably, but I think it's not bad. I think the little skirt overlay she's got going on is a little bit weird. The pattern on the actual skirt itself with that paint splatter is cute. And so they could have just gotten rid of the overlay and given her a nice belt, and I think it would have been a lot better. I like the accessories that come with this doll, the little paint palette and the little paintbrush, that's really cute, but I don't love her shoes. There's not a lot of white in the rest of her outfit, and so it just looks kind of there. If they were dead set on using white shoes, I think something that they could have done was added some paint splattering to them to make it look more like the dress pattern. That could have upped it up a notch, but there's a reason why I don't make these, you know? I guess, you know, they chose it for a reason, but I just don't like them. Number 18 is the I Heart Shoes Draculaura. This doll is pretty, but it looks old. Like, she looks like she's like 20. It doesn't look like Draculaura's style at all. It's just very like office lady going to my 9 to 5. Not that that's a bad thing, but it just really doesn't fit with her character arc, and it looks more like it should be her mom. Like this is a doll of Draculaura's mom rather than it is a doll of Draculaura, if you know what I mean. She does look very glam, which I appreciate. The style and the fashion on this doll is pretty cute. It really doesn't relate to Draculaura's character very much. This pencil skirt moment we've got going on is very like, I killed my husband and took the inheritance type, which I think is a little bit weird for her, right? This tartan like cloak thing she's got going on is cute, but it's very like, it's very Widowmaker. I like the face and hair on this doll. I think the side swept pony with the curls is really cute, and her face is pretty good too. I like the inclusion of the sunglasses. That ups it up a notch as well. But yeah, I can't get over how old she looks. Like, it just doesn't look like Draculaura, and that's why she ranks so low on the list. Number 17 is the Frights Camera Action Draculaura. Now, this doll isn't bad either. She's just also not my favorite. We've seen better from Draculaura. The hair is a little weird. I think that they could have done a little bit more styling with that, but not the worst thing ever. Personally, her face is a little bit weird. I do love the silver eyeshadow we got going on though. That's a plus. The only thing about this doll's outfit that I like is probably the belt. Her belt is pretty cute, but the rest of the dress is just like, okay. It's a pattern with a bat wing cut out the bottom, you know? Like, it's just too simple for me, I think. I don't really like the shoes on this doll. I'm not really sure what I'm looking at. You gotta look really close to know what's happening. But I do love the bag on this doll. Draculaura always comes in with the bags. I do like that shape. She's doing the tiny bag before everybody else, so real iconic moment for the bag, but the rest of the look is just kind of like, okay, it exists. Number 16 is the Dead Tired Draculaura. This is a very iconic doll. So many people had it. I know people who had it. It's not a bad doll. It's just not the greatest of all time. I really like her pajama set, to be honest. I love the polka dots. I love the little ruffles they got going on. The little bow on the top is so cute. And obviously the monster slippers. They kill it every time. The monster slippers are great. Her face is really cute. Her hair is the only part of this doll that I'm like a little bit iffy on. The straight up ponytail is a little bit weird. I know it's supposed to be like, oh, she sleeps upside down because she's a bat, so her hair stays like that, but that's not how physics works. Like, if she's standing right side up, wouldn't her hair just fall back down? Theoretically? I don't know. That's the only part of this doll that I'm like a little bit iffy on. I think she's really cute. It's just the only reason why she ranks the way she ranks is because I think that fashion-wise, there are some other ones that are just higher up on the list. Number 15, we have the Freaky Fusion Dracubecca. I am not a huge fan of the Freaky Fusion line either. Freaky Fusion Frankie was actually at the bottom of my list in the Frankenstein video. To be honest, This one I think is the best executed of all of them though, and that's why she ranks the way she ranks. For this, I look at it and I see both Rebecca and Draculaura, and the design makes sense. Honestly, I think the reason why this doll works so well is because of the styles that both of these ghouls have originally. Draculaura is very gothic Victorian inspired to start with, and Rebecca on the other hand is very steampunk, and so obviously when you mix those, it's going to make a combination that's going to evoke both dolls. I love the glasses on this doll. I love that they made them heart-shaped because it calls back to Rebecca's original design while also adding a flair of Draculaura into it. I love the bat wings. They're very steampunk inspired. The patterns on the dress are very reminiscent of Draculaura and Rebecca as well. I also love the recolor of Rebecca's original boots. The black with the pink base is very reminiscent of Draculaura, but it's in the same style as Rebecca. I think that they just did a really good job with this doll, and overall she's my favorite of the Freaky Fusion ones. Number 14 is Gloom Beach Draculaura. Notoriously, I'm not a fan of the swimsuit dolls, but this one is pretty cute, honestly. I like what she's got going on with the swimsuit here. The heart pattern is really cute. I like the cut of the neckline, very like sweetheart with the ruffle and the bow in the middle. I just think that's very feminine and adds a lot of shape to the doll. I think her face is very cute. She's one of the dolls that does the best with the no makeup looks, I think, and so just really cute. I do actually love the use of yellow on this doll as well. Sometimes I don't like the use of yellow on the Draculaura dolls, but this one is pretty good. Her little like cover-up shawl thing adds something to it. It adds contrast to the design that would be lacking otherwise. Her earrings and her sandals are also pretty cute, and the fact that she comes with SPF 5000, like, girl, that's me. I go to the beach, I'm burnt immediately. Don't even step 1 foot on the sand, I'm already burnt, so I relate. Again, we see them not doing much with her hair. It's just kind of like straight down. She's got her bangs, but for this particular doll, I think it works, and so I'm not going to dock it points for that. Number 13, we have Killer Style Draculaura. Now, I love this doll. I think she is so cute. I love her earrings. I love her face. I love that she's got her little black stockings. I just think that's so cute. Again, with a very simple hair on this doll, in my opinion, they should be putting a little bit more effort into it. They could be doing something kind of like this, or something kind of like space bun-esque to try and get some kind of interest into the hair. In my opinion, they probably also should have chose a bolder lipstick color to put her in. I think the paleness of it just looks too close to her skin tone, so it kind of just looks like she doesn't have lips. But yeah, I love like the stocking with the shoe moment. That's very cute. The outfit's not bad. I like the little ruffles on the skirt, and the pattern on the blouse is pretty cute as well. Yeah, she's very classic and simple. I like this doll. There could be a couple of alterations to her, and then she would be a god tier doll. So that's why she ranks where she does. Number 12, we have Sweet Screams Draculaura. Now, people really love the Sweet Screams line. I am not like worshipping the ground it walks on like some collectors do, but I do think that it is very great on the high aesthetic value. And that's what I love about this doll. She looks outrageous, she looks outlandish, and there's just a lot of little details in this that you really need to look at her to soak them up. I like the face on this doll. Her eyes are very big and kind of anime-like, so they pop out a lot. Her hair is pretty cute too, with the black licorice thing going on. Her outfit is not my favorite, but it's also not terrible either. It kind of gets junky up in here. She's got poofy sleeves, but then also this big crazy collar. I think they should have stuck with one or the other because it kind of junks up that whole section of her body there. But I do really love the shape of the bodice. I love that sweetheart neckline that they've got going on for her, and just the little like underbust pattern they've got. I don't really know how to describe it, but like the striping is really cute. I love her licorice gloves. That is so cute. The two-toned like pink and black. Super cute. I love that. The bag is also really cute. The bags on the Sweet Screams dolls are amazing. I also like the little drippy effect that she's got going on with her skirt. That's pretty cute too. Her shoes are not my favorite ever, but I do really like the hot pink fishnet socks. I think that's just so cute. Number 11, we have Ghouls Rule Draculaura. Now, I love the Ghouls Rule line, especially because they're just so outrageous as well. They're meant to be super high aesthetic value, and I love that about them. I have trouble figuring out how I feel about this doll. I love her big bat wings. They are so cute. Her hair is so intricate and awesome. The rest of the dress isn't that bad either. I like the little poof of the skirt with the dramatic flare of the train. Very cool. Her shoes to me are kind of plain, but that's okay because the main focus is the top half of her body anyway. The collar that she's got going on is just so awesome. It gives awesome dramatic flair to this doll that I just love. I like her earrings. I think they're very cool. But the one thing that trips me up the most about this doll is her eye makeup. I know they were trying to go for like a super dramatic, like cobwebby, batwingy type thing, but it just looks like she's been crying in the bathroom, you know? Like, girl, I've been there. I understand, but it's just not my favorite. It's my least favorite part of the doll. Number 10 is the Picture Day Draculaura. Now, I know a lot of people had this doll. I'm not the biggest fan of this doll, but I think it's a pretty good capture of what Draculaura's style is, essentially, and so that's why she ranks where she does on the list. I love her hair. I love that little, like, Sailor Moon bun with the pigtails. So cute, with the little bow on top. It's just so cute. Her earrings and her bag are really cute. I like the skirt part, and the little like bandeau thing she's got going on is very cool. I also love the shoes on this doll. These like high, like almost gladiator like sandals are just really, really neat. The only thing I don't love about this doll is the collar. Again, I think it just junks it up a little bit. Not really sure what I'm looking at, but otherwise, pretty strong doll. Number 9 is Snowbite Draculaura. People really love the fairy tale Monster High dolls. I don't love them as much as everybody else does. In my personal opinion, Snowbite is the least greatly executed of the bunch, but she's still pretty cool, and that's why she ranks where she ranks. She's very high aesthetic value, and you can really see the time and the care that was put into the details of this doll. What I wish they had done was add a little bit more shape to her actual dress. It just looks very poofy, and it looks like it's almost too big for her. It's supposed to be very big and like voluminous because it's a princess dress, right? But if it had some kind of cinching in at the waist, or just some kind of like shape to it at all other than just like what we got, I would appreciate it a little bit more. But I do love the foil pattern of the poison apple along the bottom of her skirt. That is so cool. And like the drippiness of the green that's going on to look like the poison dripping down her. That's pretty cool as well. The bow, in my opinion, seems a little bit too big, but since it's Draculaura, you know, of course you gotta have a big giant bow. I also do really like the face on this doll. I think the green eyeshadow makes it very dramatic. The lipstick color that they chose complements it really well. And also, it's got a little bit of poison on her little heart cheek mark. I think that's really cute. The shoes on this doll are pretty cool too. I'm not sure why I like these shoes so much, but I think it's one of the reasons why this doll was saved a little bit for me. Can't tell you why that is. I like the shoes. Number 8 is the Dawn of the Dance Draculaura. Looking at this doll all together, I like it, but if I look at each part individually, I'm like, I'm having trouble figuring out how I feel about it because of that, but honestly, pretty iconic Draculaura doll as well, and you know what? Considering some of the other ones we've talked about, this is pretty good. I love the shape of this dress. I like that it looks kind of ruched, so it's very like form-fitting to her body with like the flare out at the bottom. I love the bow in the back, so cute. Her makeup is awesome. I love that smoky eye. I love the black lipstick. It just gives her a very dramatic, like, I'm going out type look, which I think was the point. I like her very coiffed side pony going on. Hardly if ever do we see effort put into Draculaura's hair, and so I'm not going to complain about that at all. I don't love the top hat though. I really don't. I don't think it adds anything. It's not really conducive to Draculaura's style. Her style is very, very feminine, and just like top hats to me, I think throws that whole thing off. In the grand scheme of the actual design, I don't love it. I also think that the little like collar choker thing she's got going on is a little bit weird. So I think it's like the collar and the top hat that throw it off for me. The rest of it is a 10 out of 10. I love the shape of the dress. I love her eye makeup. I love her hair. I love her bag. Her shoes are so cute. They're shiny with like that slight little heart detailing. So good. It's just the collar and the top hat that throw it off for me, man. So close to being Perfect. So close. Number 7 is Haunted Draculaura, and I was actually a little bit surprised about this because I'm not the hugest fan of the Haunted line. I don't dislike it, it's just not my favorite, but honestly, I actually really like this doll. The thing that I first noticed about it is that I really love the blushing across her face. It just reminds me a lot of that like TikTok e-girl thing where you're putting like blush across the whole span of your face now. I think back when this doll was made, that would have been a weirder choice, but now it seems almost kind of in fashion. Her dress is pretty simple, but I do really like the foil kind of like shiny element of it. The star of the show though is the chains and this flowy train she's got going on. This very cute like pink bat wing sort of like floaty train she's got just adds so much silhouette and awesomeness to this doll. And the chains, the chains are so cute with their little like heart-shaped links, and then they've got like some bats at the end. I think the color plastic that they chose for her shoes is a little bit strange. I think if they matched it more to the silver color of the chains, it might have been more effective, but overall, not gonna complain too much about that. I think the streaking of her hair is also a little bit weird. She's got this one big pink section and then a little bit of black. A little bit strange. They could have done a little bit more cohesive streaking and I think it might have been better, but otherwise pretty cute doll. Number 6 is Skull Shores Draculaura. I adore this doll. She is just so cute. I love the little sailor thing she's got going on with like the sailor collar and like the nautical stripes on her suit. She's got her little sailor hat going on. I also really love the hairstyle of this doll. I think it's really cute. They've got the front sections pulled out for her. This very sheer kind of like cover-up thing she's got going on her waist. It only works because of the color of the sailor collar, but honestly, it's really cute. The little bow on the front is kind of giving me Sailor Moon vibes, and so that's, I think, partially why I love this doll so much. If you look very closely, she's got anchor earrings, which is just like so cute. I love this doll. I love this doll. She's so awesome. Number 5 is the Monster Exchange Draculaura. I don't see people talking about this doll enough. I think she is gorgeous. I love her little like kimono inspired dress with like the obi sash belt thing going on. So cute. It's got that Draculaura flair. I also especially like the backstory for this. When Monster High made its way to Japan, Draculaura was by far everybody's favorite character, and so it makes sense that they would send her to Shibuya. So cute. But yeah, like the intricate patterns on this dress are just so amazing. Like I think it's something you can't really get a full appreciation of unless you actually own this doll. I don't. Kind of wish that I could see it in person though to see all the like details on it, but I know they knocked it out of the park with the patterns on this one. I really love her super big bag too. That's really cute. And also, can we talk about her hair accessories for a second? How awesome is that? They actually gave her an intricate hairstyle with this big giant hairpiece that I just love. Her shoes are very cool. I think they're supposed to be modeled after the traditional geta that people usually wear with kimonos or with yukatas. So that's very cool. The only thing about this doll is that, to me, her face is a little bit strange. I think they tried to make her look almost as if she's trying to be very, like, emulative of the Japanese beauty standard, if that makes any sense at all of what I'm trying to say. Like they kind of look like they tried to model her after a Japanese supermodel, which is okay for the theme of the actual doll itself, but I think it just doesn't really look like Draculaura, in my opinion. But honestly, I just think the other aspects of this doll are so nice that I can't fault it too much. Coming up to top 4, and number 4 for me is the 13 Wishes Draculaura. I love this doll's silhouette. I love the silhouette of the dress with this like kind of tight fitting, almost like corset-like front, and then it goes out into this crazy big and awesome train at the bottom with all these lace overlays. I just think it looks so sharp and awesome. I love her gold accessories, the little circlet on the top of her head. Her heart mark is actually gold as well, which is really cool. On the 13 Wishes Frankie doll, her stitches were actually painted gold, so I think that's a really cool part of these dolls that not a lot of people know about. Her face is really cute, but I think the runaway star is the hair. I love the tinsel in the hair. I love the way that they've styled it around the circlet that's on her head. It's just It's great. She's got this little like beehive thing almost happening in the back, and like the front strands to frame her face is just great. Like the effort I want to see in all the rest of the Draculaura hair is like right here. Does that make sense? Number 3 is the original first wave Draculaura doll. Part of this is nostalgia for me because this was my Draculaura doll when I was a child. She was the first Monster High doll I ever had, and I still love her dearly to this day. Her umbrella has been lost, I think, and possibly her necklace, but she's still precious to me, and so of course she had to rank this way on the list. Honestly, I don't really have much to say about this. I mean, like, the big crazy platform boots and the fishnet tights and the pleated skirt, that's very evocative of today's trends with like the TikTok e-girl thing and like the heart-shaped thing. So like Draculaura was the blueprint. She was the blueprint. We gotta admit this. And so that I think is really cool that her style has kind of like become relevant in society, if that makes any sense at all. It's probably not at all connected to that, but I like to think that it is. Yeah, I love her pigtails. I love her little bangs, all the like lace details, like the lace cuffs that she's got. Just love this doll. I also wish I could have those boots. No joke. If they sold replicas of those boots, I would buy them in an instant. I love the boots. Number 2 is the Sweet 1600 Draculaura. I love the Sweet 1600 line. That's no surprise to anybody. I love the party dress that they put her in. It's everything that the Dawn of the Dance wasn't giving me. Once again, we have iconic shoes. We have an iconic glitter bag. I just love the silhouette of this dress as well. It's very framed in on her waist and then goes out, which is great. The Sweet 1600 Frankie had less shape to it, which is why I liked it a little bit less, but this one is just structured in a way that I like, and it's got a lot of lace detailing that I just absolutely adore, with little ruffles on the bottom. So cute. I love the tinsel in her hair, and like the little beehive she's got going is so cute. I just overall really like this doll. The only awkward part I think is probably her bangs are a little weird to me, but it doesn't throw it off too much, and so I just overall really a fan of this doll. And the moment we've all been waiting for, my favorite Draculaura doll. Number 1 is the Schools Out Draculaura. This should be no surprise to anybody. I love really sweet styles and super cutesy things, and so obviously this one was gonna rank pretty high, but in my opinion, she is the most technically flawless Draculaura doll that exists. I seriously can't find a bad thing to say about this doll. I love her very Lolita-inspired dress. It's got a lot of fit in the bodice and the waist, but it's got the flare at the bottom that's super like ruffly and cute. I love the balance of all the colors of the yellows and the pinks and the blacks, and she's got white sleeves. I just think that's amazing. The shape of the sleeves and the bow on the front and the buttons down the front. Ah, so cute. I love her polka dot tights as well, and her shoes are just amazing and so cute. They match the dress perfectly. Her face is awesome. I love the makeup on this doll. She looks so demure and so cute. Her earrings are awesome as well, and I love the pigtails on this. On the original doll, she's got lower pigtails, but I think the high pigtail just really works for her. I love her open umbrella. It is so cute. As far as purses go, I will say we've seen better Draculaura purses, but this particular one really fits the theme of the whole outfit, and it's just... I struggle to find anything bad to say about this doll. She's just gorgeous. Dare I say, possibly one of my favorites out of any character. You can agree or disagree with that as you wish. But yeah, that is the end of my ranking all of the Draculaura dolls. I really hope that you guys are liking this series. I'm hoping to make my way through all of the original Ghouls and then maybe some side characters if you guys end up liking it. But that's a wrap on episode 2. I am so excited. Claudine is next for episode 3. Really looking forward to that one. So if you want to stick around for that, you can hit the subscribe button down below. Or if you just happen to like this video, please hit the like button so that I know that you guys are ending up liking this series. But as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the flip side.